In a few moments, you will have an experience which will seem completely real. It will be the result of your subconscious fears transformed to your conscious awareness. Warning, this tape must not be played by government personnel. It can be extremely harmful and result in severe trauma. You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And everywhere I go, there's always something to remind me of another place and time.
It's just a cough.
Yeah, right. And the earth is flat.
Treat your cough seriously with Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin, because it's never just a cough.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
Hold on. I know how we're different. Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it.
Holy
Do you think the Earth is flat, Snoop? What do you think?
It's a flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day.
It's good to see you. I must go. I know I will go. Motherfucker!
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship, currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery enjoyed too much Mexican beer and has come down with some type of flu. So we don't have the peanut gallery tonight. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. For those of you listening to this on YouTube, you want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio. For the latest schedule, currently the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it is not February 4th, 2020, then you are listening to a rerun. 2020, it sounds like the future, doesn't it? Quote of the day goes exactly like this. Thimerosal is a mercury-based preservative that was in many American vaccines until 2003. It was removed from many of the pediatric vaccines, but it was put in the flu vaccine, which is now given to 53 million Americans. Who said that? Robert Kennedy Jr. The Mark Sargent 2020 challenge is in effect. This is my personal declaration of war against mainstream science. I, Mark Sargent, hereby put forth a challenge to any university, foreign or domestic, to loan me a self-contained spacesuit, put me in a vacuum chamber, and pull the switch. Find out what happens. For more information, please check out Flat Earth Clues Part 13, otherwise known as The Lost Nail. My co-host, who thinks she runs the show, and, well, she could be right. She's lovely, she's sometimes sassy, and she's always lethal. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about Karen B. Karen?
Why, good evening, Mark.
Why, Karen, what are you doing here?
Why, whatever I want.
Sounds like we're at a bar, right? Like going through the motions. I'll have what she's having. Only I'll take it in her room.
Oh, God.
I just made that up just now. It's amazing that I am still not married. Yep. So, announcements. I have a few of them. Obviously, I made a video. Well, you know what? Let's get the obvious out of the way, which is because I'm going to name this episode. I'm going to call it Flat Earth and the Superbowl. And the reason why is because, and I didn't think it was going to get this many hits. I mean, it's freaking cranking out there. And that is, if you guys haven't heard by now, Flat Earth was mentioned in the Super Bowl Amazon commercial. You know, the Super Bowl is, funny enough, the Super Bowl of all commercials. The best commercials of the year are usually done during the Super Bowl because it's got a massive audience in multiple countries. Billions of people watch the damn thing. And so they spend lots of money, and you'll get huge, ads by Audi and Amazon and Google and Nike and Doritos and beer companies and you name it. They're all out there. And Amazon did a commercial for their voice-activated remote control everything called Alexa, which can run your house and stuff. And they chose as their spokesperson for this year the host of her own show, and I think she's got one of the top 5 shows in the country right now as daytime shows, which is Ellen DeGeneres. And then followed by a compilation of other things throughout history. What did people do in history before they had Alexa? And when they got to the Middle Ages, they had 2 women talking, and the one woman asked what was interesting, pretending the other woman was kind of like her version of Alexa. And she said, well, first the earth is flat, and then a witch stole that man's pants. Fascinating. I mean, and just before that, they did a thing where they had an old-time newsie on the street corner, could have been late 1800s, early 1900s. And, they go into the fake news thing, and then they go through the Nixon Watergate tapes. And, yeah. And then and Ellen got to release it early on her show, part of the deal, I imagine. And then Amazon released it, it was released through Fox for the Super Bowl, and then Amazon released it through, I believe I think they're advertising it on Amazon.com. And so I think right now it's got, 63 million hits?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's huge.
I did see one post on Facebook that somebody said, because of the Ellen commercial, my friend is finally going to look into Flat Earth.
Right on. Well, yeah, because it's kind of like it's part of the eighth man effect, which you and I have talked about, and that is if you hear something, you hear about a topic randomly unsolicited from the first 7 sources, be it people or television or whatever, or radio, you're going to kind of dismiss it. You're going to be like, yeah, whatever. And then when you finally hear it like the 8th time, you're like, oh, fine, I'll look into it. And so, yeah, it just added massive appeal to the eighth man effect. So like it happens with movies and musical artists, and we've all done it. It's like, yeah, I didn't want to look into it, but so many people were talking about it, and yeah, so it was cool. I was looking for the ad, and it was great. And people, you got to understand what goes into these ads. These are considered the best of the best, and they chose, and it was interesting, they chose fake news and Flat Earth to go back to back in that commercial. But, yeah. But yeah, and I loved it. I actually enjoyed the fake news part better because the guy says, what's new in the news, right? Kid goes, doesn't matter, it's all fake anyway, and they laugh.
Well, the guy starts laughing and the kid face palms like, you
Yeah.
idiot.
Yeah, it was good. Again, it was a neat thing to see, and because of that, the metrics, because of that, people that were reviewing, because now it's become a tradition to review and give your opinions on those ads, and we're not going to do that tonight. But there was a lot. It was in the metrics, and it's like, oh yeah, the best ads of the Super Bowl, and that was up there, way up there. It wasn't my favorite, but it was good. I don't know if you watched any of the others besides that one, but my favorite, which really surprised me, was they brought back Bill Murray for a Groundhog Day compilation. I thought that was brilliant. Did you see it?
Nope.
Yeah, the Groundhog Day, and we're talking 30 years later. They bring back Bill Murray, but the exact same set, the whole 9 yards, and basically it was for Jeep. It was for a Jeep Rubicon, where the Jeep was new, and he decided to stay in the Groundhog Day loop just to drive the Jeep over and over again. Yeah.
That's funny.
Weird. I know. It's like he put himself back into purgatory, and he wasn't going to leave. He was like, it's like driving through the snow with the top down. They're going, you're going to freeze to death. He's going, who cares? It was brilliant. And he had the woodchuck with him the entire time.
No, it's a groundhog.
Woodchuck? I'm sorry, groundhog. Groundhog. Not woodchuck. Groundhog sees his shadow. Sorry. The woodchuck threw me because they ran woodchuck commercials too, because they did sequels to the woodchucks chucking firewood into the lake.
Oh, I used to love that commercial. I thought it was funny.
Oh, they brought that back too.
Hey, you dang woodchuck, quit chugging my wood.
Exactly. That was brought back. In fact, it seemed there were so many retro commercials and retro compilations and sequels. Nothing really new, but it was interesting. You know, I watch the Super Bowl now just for the commercials. To be honest, I didn't care about either team. Kansas City, San Francisco. Yeah.
Does anybody know who won the Super Bowl?
Yes, Kansas City won it in the fourth quarter. They, which was interesting because you know me, I believe the NFL has always been, it's been rigged for a number of years because it's more entertainment. You got to give people what they want. It's about ratings and.
Well, there's way too much money and stuff involved.
Way too much money, and in fact, Oliver Stone's movie, Any Given Sunday, that's what we were talked about, where Al Pacino looks at the screen. He's in a bar. He played a coach in that movie, and he goes, and it was absolutely right. He goes, the game changed when the TV timeout was created. Because people don't understand, it's like we break for commercials now in sports. For, football, perfect example. When it's outside of the rules of the game, you're breaking for commercials because the sponsors want to run commercials. We're not going to wait for your timeout. We're going to wait for a touchdown or a kickoff or anything. We need to run a commercial. We need to run right now. So they tell the refs, blow the whistle. It's like TV timeout. And that's been around. And if you think, well, that doesn't mean anything, it's like, no, that's how much money's involved. Is that we're going to the game. We used to circle the commercials around the game. Now we're going to circle the game around the commercials. The game is just a side effect for the corporate sponsors. So there you go. Anyway, so it was neat. And I don't know, I'll look it up during the show, how many hits that damn thing has now, but it was great. It was wonderful. And I probably sent you, and along those lines, since we're in a sporting mood, you saw that photo which I sent you of from
the tennis player?
Yeah, the number one tennis player in the world. He posted on his Instagram, Novak Djokovic, an interesting hand-drawn shot called a hashtag unselfie, which I thought was cute, act of kindness. And then he has, the world is a level playing field full of champions indeed. And there is a flat earth inside it with the continents and a tennis racket on one side and what I think is him on the other side. And then a basketball and some stars and a sun thing, or a sun with a smiley face and now some other thing. But it's cool. And it's not photoshopped. It's absolutely from his Instagram page. I know this because I got this from a big tennis nut. Oh, which was why I should mention this to you. Do you know who I just spent, who was here since 1 o'clock, who just left probably 15 minutes ago?
No.
Not Novak Djokovic. It was Matt Long.
Oh.
Matt Matt and Jessica and their newborn daughter, Winslet.
Yes.
Here. They came at 1:00. And then we sat on the couch and we talked and for hours, just hours. Planted the kid in the couch and we talked and then had dinner. Ordered some pizza from the local pizzeria, and they just took off and were driving up the island. They're driving back up to their in-laws in British Columbia. So, and we shot a couple little video snippets for him, and it was cool. So he won't get home until probably after 10, hopefully not 11. But it was a good day. He drove all the way down and visited some people in Muckleteel and came over, and we had fun.
Oh, that's lovely. Very nice.
Yeah. It was nice. It was nice seeing him. We talked about all sorts of flat Earth stuff, and it was really, really cool. And I got the clarification on the Amazing Race. He was the one of the two finalists to get into. He was going to be it. He and Nathan Thompson were going to be in the Amazing Race until
and what happened?
The whole thing collapsed. Because again, because it was going to be an internet content provider season only,
Mm-hmm.
and every content provider except for flat earthers were asking for compensation. They're saying, "Look, you can't tell us to be off the internet for an entire month, for 30 days. You can't tell us. I mean, that's how we make money." And so it's different from any other season they chose. I mean, they said, "Oh yeah, we're going to have internet people." It's like, yeah, but you're telling internet people to stay off the internet. That's different from anything else you've ever done in any other season. And so they just couldn't get enough people. It's like it was too much.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I know. Me neither. I was happy. I thought it would have been a great. It would have been great if those two would have done it. I would have been all for it. And they were close. They were really close. In fact, he only found out one day before he headed to Dallas to the conference. That was how close it was. They had everything already booked and ready to go, and he was gonna jump over to LA and do the screen test. And then they changed their minds. And as you know, because I was out there in your neck of the woods, they decided to do casting in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, what else? You probably saw the video I made about the Challenger astronaut. That I did a little compilation where I did a side-by-side thing and showed clips of the 1986 Michael J. Smith to the 2020 Michael J. Smith, who shouldn't be alive and yet is a professor at Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And again, kudos to the guy that went out there, that drove out an hour into the snow, went up his driveway, and talked to him. And did you watch some of that, right?
I did.
Yeah. The part that got me. Here's the part that it's not what sometimes, and I learned this from Russian vids. No, I learned this from can't remember the name of him off the top of my head. He was one of the early Flat Earth guys. I'll remember later in the show. Max Malone, where sometimes it's not what you say, it's what you don't say. And in this case, here's what threw me. It wasn't that he was talking about, oh yeah, I knew I kind of looked like him when I was younger, which is you never want to admit ever in your life anyway. It's that here's what happens in alibis. So if I said, hey, Karen, you're our number one suspect for murder because, for a murder that happened on Tuesday night. What's the first thing you're going to say? You're going to say, what are you talking about? Tuesday night, I was, with having dinner with friends, and I was there all night, and, everyone saw me in the restaurant person. You're going to tell them your alibi. So if people are saying, oh yeah, by the way, you look just like the 1986 Challenger astronaut, you should be saying what you were doing in 1986. He didn't even broach the topic. Didn't even go back that far. It's like he didn't even want to talk about 1986. Goes into the whole Princess Bride argument. The inconceivable thing, which is you put the poison as far away from you as possible. Because you're mortal. And in this case, he put 1986 as far away as possible. Didn't even want to talk about 1986. Interesting.
Hmm.
I thought it was him. I did.
Yeah, most of us think it is him.
I mean, it's something I would do. Look, military officers are expensive. If he could be used for other things, the internet wasn't up. Put him in witless relocation. Who's gonna know? And by the time it figures out 30 years later, well, 34 years later, you're not gonna figure it out. So, just a thought. Also, and I'll ask you some stuff here in a second. Also, if you haven't already done so, please pick up the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
Yes, indeed.
I highly encourage it. How are things going with you? What's been happening in your neck of the woods?
Just not a whole lot. Just doing the same thing I've been doing.
Yeah.
Country living, using my chainsaw, cutting up trees and burning them, and
nice.
And I also got back into making some jewelry. Been making earrings. When it's too rainy outside to go use my chainsaw, I stay inside and I make earrings.
Very nice. It's been raining. In fact, we even got a little snow up here tonight. Yeah, the weather has been not very good at all.
It's been nice here. Actually, it was 71 the other day. It was nice short sleeve weather. The sun was out in the 60s today. It's very nice. Been very nice over here.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Except for the rain. It's been rainy, but it's not cold at least.
Yeah, it's pretty cold here. I mean, I was half expecting. I mean, north of here, I'm sure we're getting some slushy snow, but what else in the way of announcements? I'm trying to think if there's anything else that kind of struck me. Looking through the videos for what's happened in the last week. More channels getting into it. Some people late to the game. I might be doing an interview over in London. The same group that remember the interview, the guys that brought on Gary and Darren Nesbitt and Martin Kenny at the same time. Remember that? On the same show. They brought them on like right after the UK conference.
No.
I don't remember. Anyway, they're interested in doing another one. So it's like, okay.
What channel is it? What is it?
It's ITV. It's one of the British morning shows. I could tell.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. The guy was, I mean, honestly, it was a little dicey, and I felt bad because, Gary and Darren and Martin, they don't do a lot of work together. And so, it's like putting band members on the stage for the first time. It's like, oh, let's go live. What could go wrong? And you could tell that, there were definitely differences in opinion, and everyone was kind of biting their tongues because it was like, because flat earthers, there are a bit of differences out there. So we'll see. Let's see here. The show is called it's just called This Morning, and it's on ITV.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't have. I suppose I could dig up the host.
I remember that. That was with Gary and.
Yep. Darren and Martin. Yep. But they want to do another one, so great. I'm all for it.
Sweet. Who's going to be on this time?
Me.
Just you?
Yep. That's
awesome.
That's the rumor. I mean, they want to get somebody else they can, but right now they've only reached out to me. So, and it's because of the documentary. They hadn't, for whatever reason, some of them hadn't seen it. I don't know. It's different nowadays where, like a movie hits theaters and then, it has a limited window, but out in social media, things like that can, they go viral, and then they're kind of like forest fires where they'll find a new patch of unburnt wood and just make a run for it. And then all of a sudden people treat it like it's brand new. And I get emails like that. So, oh yeah, I just watched, they ask me all these current questions. I go, you realize that movie was shot in 2017 and was released in 2018. You realize that, right? And they don't. But whatever. Let's see here. My favorite, how much time we got before the break? Oh, we got 4 minutes. I got time. We'll pick up some calls after the break. The phone number to call in, by the way, is 213-233-3998. That's SW233-3998. Operators are standing by, and by that I mean me. So be nice, because remember, no matter where you go, and Karen's probably lip syncing this with me, there you are. Phone number to call is 213-233-3998. And my favorite spam email of the week, because I only pick the worst ones. This is terrible. It even has colors in it. So the email is called B dash capital O dash capital A in parentheses urgent lock, all caps, sent by Don Roland at Reagan.com, because, that sounds like a Bank of America email scheme. Account security verification in a little box. Security alert, all caps and in red with an exclamation point. We noticed unusual activities of multiple use of incorrect login details. For your security, we have restricted your account activities. To restore your account and continue the use of our banking services, click below to restore and protect your account. Before proceeding, and this is in blue, before proceeding, kindly make sure your debit credit card is within your reach, as you will be required to verify your card details.
Right.
Make sure you have your card in your hand. And then verify account. There's a clickable link here, and it goes to I can't read it. It's too small. tpathletitgear.com. Uh-huh. And then below NB, I think that should be PS or whatever, further actions will be taken on your account if you do not verify your account. Yep. Totally legit. So after this, I will be contacting them with my credit card in hand.
Mm.
Yep. Pretty good, huh?
That's, great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so. Let's see. What else? Looking through, before we take the phone calls, how much we got time? I got a break. 2 minutes. Got 90 seconds to kill. If you go into Flat Earth and don't use any filters, who's back up at the top of the list, which a little bit surprising. Jake Bird at the Flat Earth Conference, the Jimmy Kimmel live production, the 9-minute segment when he sent his team and one of his writers infiltrated the Flat Earth Conference in Dallas, has just broken 1 million views.
Great.
Yeah, I know, right? That's up at the top. And for the week, let's see if there's anything. Proof the Earth is flat. The Croatian girl's gone. Trying to see if there's anything else that really struck me. The YouTube Flat Earth debate isn't helping. More people reproducing the Amazon commercial. One of my favorite new channel names, Burn Fat Till My Stomach is as Flat as the Earth. That's actually
I've seen that channel around. They're funny.
That's a good channel name. I like that. Let's see if there's anything. It's just almost, there's another Superbowl commercial. It's like, it's funny. I put it up there because it mentions Flat Earth. Why other people do it, I don't know. Oh, good. They're going to go after Judith now. I think the Michael J. Smith is going to inspire people to go after, I think it's Judith Resnick, the other astronaut who's now a college professor.
Yeah.
What do you bet they show up at her house? Maybe. We'll see. Anything else before we go to break? Oh, there we go. No break. We'll back in 3. Take some phone calls. I see you all lined up. We'll get to you.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. We listened to everything the Beatles ever wrote, but I did not play all of Hey Jude. Before that, we had the Taylor Swift Hour of Power, but just then, before the break, yeah, that was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album, Night and Day. The phone lines are open, and it's you, me, and Karen B. Why? Because I rhyme like a bandit. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to rephrase that. I rhyme like a vandal. Yeah.
Like a vandal.
I don't know. It's something people say. I hear it.
I've never heard anybody say that ever in my life.
No?
I rhyme like a vandal.
I should steal the line from the guy from H-Town. Which I'm gonna start sending out W-2s because you're all up in my business.
Yeah, that guy's funny.
That is good. What do you say? Getting as high as gas prices. All right, let's pick up the phone. Who are we gonna get first? Somebody who's been waiting for 31 minutes. Let's see if this. Hopefully, I got the phone lines right. Remember, I'm doing this with that peanut gallery, so.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know, right? Here we go. 505. You are the first maybe caller tonight. Can you hear me?
Sir, chillin' anymore, I'd be illin'.
Hey, word to Big Bird. What's happening, man? That's white people rapping right there.
Yeah. You know, I didn't know there was a difference between woodchucks and groundhogs.
All right. Well, no, you know what?
No.
It was an honest
you really
mistake.
didn't.
I'm going to own up to that, and I think woodchucks have been confused with groundhogs.
Okay. Yeah. No, I really need to go look at pictures of both. Yeah.
Are they the same thing? I don't know.
I don't know. Somebody look it up. Peanut Gallery can't because he's dying. Go ahead.
I grew up thinking they were, but I could be totally off. I think I'm going to give it to you guys. You guys are probably right.
I'm going to look it up. Anyway, what else you got?
You know what? They are the same thing. A groundhog is also known as a woodchuck.
All right. Yeah, no, your Challenger story, that's really interesting because I looked into that a few years ago, like probably all flat earthers and kind of a spooky story. I don't know if you noticed this week though, it leads me into the latest fake space story, which is the two satellites almost colliding above Pittsburgh.
Right.
Did you folks see that?
Yep,
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yes.
It's only a matter of time, not if, but when. Yeah, when it really happens.
Well, here's the thing, and this goes into, again, because most of us do not get taught anything about physics or engineering or chemistry. And that is the entire premise of the movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. People forget. It's like, Sandra Bullock did all these things. It's like, do you remember even how the movie started? Basically, there was a cascading effect where one satellite ran into another one and ran into another one, and pretty soon there was this big wave of jagged metal flying through space at thousands of miles an hour, and it was going to run into them. The point is, if you know statistics, if you're a big stats nut like I am, that would have happened already. In fact, it would have happened many, many, many times over. Because you're talking about things in orbit. If things are in orbit, when they run into each other, they don't fall to the ground. They just keep running into each other. It's like a pinball that never loses momentum. And so when they're talking about, these two satellites are going to run into it, it's like, okay, first off, the fact you're talking about this, again, you're exploiting the fact that most people don't know what that means. If those two hit, then everything else would be, it's this inevitable chain reaction. It would become systemic, and it would never end until every satellite was destroyed, and it would not take that long to do. So yeah, you're right. It's a terrible space story, and they put it out there because they want to see what they can get away with, and they did. They got away with it. People, we believe what the movies tell us. The two spaceships hit each other, or spaceships, two satellites hit. Wow. Sorry, you know what I was thinking about just then? I was thinking about the stupid, even though I'm not going to watch any more Star Wars movies, I've seen screenshots of the last Star Wars movie where this giant piece of the Death Star was on this planet. And even though it's the same piece of the Death Star from the Return of the Jedi movie from 1983, and that thing was vaporized. I mean, just pieces that were the size of a coffee cup, and this thing was the size of a city. Ugh. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, that was my rant. What else do you have?
No, that's great. I was thinking about the whole satellite and the Challenger blowing up. I can't remember the name of the mission, but it was in I think it was Discovery, the other one that blew up.
It was Columbia.
What she said, yeah. Oh, that one supposedly blew up on re-entry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, and it blew up right in my neighborhood here, and they claimed on pieces strewn all over from New Mexico all the way to Texas. But, did anybody ever did anybody ever find those guys again? No,
that's a good point. Nobody that photo, the photo of the original astronauts, I've never even seen that one. To be honest, I've never even seen the group shot of those guys.
Okay.
What do you mean you haven't seen it? It's around.
Yeah, but I've never seen it. Of the Columbia astronauts? I've never seen it. The faces. No, I'm sure it exists. I'm just saying it didn't get nearly the press that the 86 one did with Challenger. I don't know, for whatever reason, everyone remembers where they were when Challenger blew up. But do you remember where you were? I don't remember the year. I'd have to look it up. Yeah, I was
one of those children in school watching it.
1986, I think, right?
Yeah, it was 86, yeah. My first threat of drinking my way through university.
I was in high school, and I remember they rolled in the TV to show us. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was, by the way, what I think is also interesting, again, because people don't know what they're seeing, is that they had to tell the people, because the people in the bleachers on the ground, they had no idea what they were looking at. Thing blew up in a puff of smoke, and nobody knew that it was gone. They're just staring up there. It's like, look, there's a rocket plume.
Maybe they weren't even really looking at an explosion. Who knows what was going on that day?
Good point. I agree.
Well, the good news is we know they're not dead. Except the one thing that creeped me out about that whole story was there was one guy in that picture that nobody ever found. Did you remember that?
You mean in the group of 7? Well, I think he was older though.
Yeah.
I think he actually he probably would have died of natural causes by now.
I think they had a picture of everybody, and where they were now except him, and he had kind of an odd job. I remember, he was there was one that was pilot, and they all had real. He just had. It almost reminded me like he was the superintendent or something on the flight. They didn't have a very good position name for him. But there was one guy that just was not. That was him. He was just never found, or maybe they just hit him better than everybody else. So.
Well then.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I lost you there for a second. I got tons more. I could go on for 2 hours, but you guys have probably other calls, so yeah. So I'll let you go. Unless you don't, and I can hang.
No, you're going. What? I'm not going to kick you off. I'm just going to mute you.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay. I'll tell you what. This is something I've been meaning to ask you both for a while.
What?
It's on the moon. So in Zulu 1 brought this up a while back too. This is going back a ways, but my observation on full moon on the horizon when it comes up, it looks obviously huge, very close, and then as you watch it on the rise, it starts looking in the appearance of it obviously changes pretty quick too, because it starts becoming flatter looking. It starts looking, obviously further away. So, Mark, being that, your history is video games and designing them, I was just wondering what you thought was the easiest way to do that. Is it literally going away from us, or you think you just are zooming the moon out?
You could do either, but it's probably something that we don't even have. It's probably a blend of something we don't even have the tech to do yet.
Right.
There's stuff happening up there. You got to remember, people. I know that we take so many things for granted, but don't forget, 20 years ago we didn't even have HD television. Everything was
we didn't.
You know what I'm saying now, though. I mean, there was, we've come a long way in a very, very short amount of time. I mean, look what smartphones have done in just 10 years. So I don't know, man. When it comes to, I'm still waiting for the new big thing as far as, green screen technology or blue screen technology and of course, every time I watch a deep fake, if you guys haven't watched the latest what we're doing with deep fakes, because YouTube's going to start banning them. The story came out today mostly because it's an election year and they don't want deep fakes to be done about politicians. That's how good it's gotten to where you can overlay somebody's face over anybody.
That was the first time I saw a deep fake. Was some guy and they had him connected to a fake George Bush on screen, and he was making facial expressions and talking, and the George Bush on screen was doing everything he was doing.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's like, how do you know anything that you've ever seen is real?
Yeah.
How do you know
right.
anytime you see any of these talking heads on TV is real?
It's true. It's true. And I firmly believe, and you can look it up if you want, I think a couple of years ago they tried to do it, or they did it with an Obama speech, a podium, him, just alone up on a podium speech, with, I think it was generated. I think it was his voice, but I think the image was completely generated, a complete deep fake to see it, because you can monitor it in real time and see what social media, how it would react. And not enough people said that it was that it was so weird that it was unbelievable. It was passable. And, that's where we've gotten. Anyway, man, thanks. And hey, we'll talk soon. So don't be a stranger, okay?
That sounds great, Mark. Thank you.
All right.
And thanks a lot
See
for
ya.
all you
All right,
do.
take
Keep it
care.
flat.
All right,
Okay.
stay flat, man.
Take care.
All right, let's jump over to South Kakalaki. 843, you're on with Mark and Karen, and I don't know. We're talking. What are we talking about?
Mark, Karen, Kenny, South Kakalaki.
What's happening, man?
How's it going?
How's everything? Everything well?
Yeah.
It's great.
Good.
It's good. What's happening with you?
I just want to talk a little bit about me and Tommy's experiment. I was going to call in last week, but I couldn't stay awake. It's late for me.
Tommy, that flat fellow, Tommy?
That flat fellow, yeah.
Okay.
I think I talked to you a couple of weeks ago and told you we were going to do a little test with a boat and some water.
Yes.
Yes, we did it. And we
Did you go
pretty
with
much
him
got
to
the
California?
results. No.
Because I know he said he was going to be in. Okay. I wasn't sure where you guys did it.
Yeah, that's his own little thing. No, we did it in my house in South Kakalaki.
Okay, cool.
So what we did, he said, he gave me the okay. He said, if you want to call in and talk about it a little bit, you can go right ahead. So I said, okay. So what we did, I know Mark said, it consisted of a boat, a camera, and Mark goes, is any water involved? And I said, yeah, there's water involved. But it was a miniature version of watching a boat go over the horizon, right? Or not being able to see a boat from a distance. So what we did is I have a business, So I'm a contractor and I have access to material. So I took a 47-foot straight run of gutter and we leveled it on my driveway. My driveway is pretty level, and we took a 6-foot level. We leveled the 47 feet of gutter perfectly level, filled it with water, and held the camera down not 3 inches, not 2 inches, not an inch, but probably a half an inch and a quarter of an inch to water level, if not eye level to water level, with that with a P900. And we took a 2.5-inch boat that was green with a black stripe along the hull and a mast, and we stuck it in the water, and we could see, from unzoomed with the camera, we could see the boat probably 10, 15 feet. We could see the boat. After that, the boat started becoming just a green blur, and that was it. And then further down, maybe 30 feet, you couldn't even see the boat anymore. It was gone. And I took the camera away, and I actually stuck my eye down to water level and looked across the water at the boat, and I couldn't make out anything. All I could see was maybe a little bit of greenish tint above the water. That was about it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So then it's a little miniature version of looking at a boat over the horizon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then we took and zoomed, we put the boat down to the end of the gutter, which is 47 feet long, and you couldn't see the boat at all. With my own eyes, I couldn't see it. With the camera, we couldn't see it. And then we zoomed in with the camera, and there's the whole boat again. So yeah, I mean,
Nice.
it pretty much worked, exactly in a smaller scale as it does in a larger scale. So Tommy's going to get, he's getting the video ready, and
Nice.
I'm sure he's going to put it out on his page and stuff. But
Good.
But yeah, it did pretty much everything we thought it was going to do. So it was pretty cool.
Excellent.
And then we cooked ribeyes on the grill and had a great time after that.
Very good.
But other than that, I love that Ellen DeGeneres commercial. That was pretty cool.
Yes.
With the flat Earth. Yeah, that was good. But other than that, I think that's all I got.
Well, before you go, one of our listeners wrote in, Darren Wagner, who loves his Star Trek, and he said, "Yeah, you know what? Somebody did rock the mic like a vandal. That was Vanilla Ice." The lyric goes, "To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal, light up the stage and wax a chump like a candle."
Yeah, but that's not what you said, though.
I said.
You said you rhyme like a vandal.
Oh, rhyme like a vandal.
You rhyme, so you're like Marky Mark, right? Are you Marky Mark and Karen?
Not Marky Mark.
He is like Marky Mark. Have you seen that picture I made where I put his head on Marky Mark's body? It's great. Somebody brought it to the conference and had him sign it. It was awesome.
That wonderful image is sitting above a lovely young girl's bed in California, who I don't know if she's turned 10 yet, but yeah, met her at the Dallas conference.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
And a shout out for this weekend, right? We're going to do Saturday in Columbia.
Yes, Columbia, South Carolina, at the flea market flat smacking.
Right on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And that flat fellow
Sounds
has made it to 1,000 subs, so he should be doing some live streaming from there now.
Right on.
He did. Yep. Thank you, Globebusters, for doing that. That was for mentioning him on their channel. He got over 1,000 subs, so that was awesome.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned him all over the place. We mentioned him on Globebusters. We mentioned him on Jaren's Lounge. Me and Brian were promoting him on our show.
And he does deserve it. He does great work.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right, guys. Well, you have a good evening, and talk to you guys later.
All right.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.
That'll be interesting. I want to see that video.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's jump over to... Got one more call before the break. Let's grab 360. I bet I know who this is. She's plucky, she's perky, and she's on a mission. It's Dottie from Washington. What's happening, Dottie?
That's awesome. I got a nice little like title introduction. That's wonderful. And now I just say, wow, I'm just blown away.
Would you say you're at a loss for words?
Yeah, maybe. Except, I pretty much never seem to stop talking, so I'm sure I'll find something to say. Oh, just to remind you that if you're looking to get married, I am still on the market, so, it'd probably be easier to date a flat earther already, because so I joined this terrible singles group on Facebook, and it's the worst thing ever. I'm just like, wow, I'm really, really like awake, and these people are not in any way, and it just, I'm like, I need to not be in this place. And
There's flat earther dating groups, Dottie, but I don't know that they would be much better, to be honest.
Yeah, I did find one, and it's okay. Like, people just don't really post in there at all. Like all of those people are out, homesteading and just crushing, not on the internet. And so, yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, I could direct you to, something like christianmingle.com, where I hear the homicide rates are down, by 20%. But
Great.
God,
what is that?
Exactly.
We're not supposed to talk about that. Is it so that the online dating site is not good because you're woke and they're not?
Yeah, and the people. I mean, I can't talk. So, the conversations with people are just absolutely not conversations at all, and they all just they're like, oh, let's go out to the bar, I'm gonna go watch football. I'm like, wow, that sounds like about the last thing I would ever want to do. Like, I want to go on the beach and pick up rocks and pieces of glass, and I'm like growing tomatoes in my apartment, and I'm just on such a different plane of existence than people who go to a bar and are watching football. And yeah, it's like, hey, if you love it, that's fine. That's great. I'm happy you're happy, but I'm not going to be happy with you doing that. So, yeah.
I hear you. Well.
Yeah, it's rough out there, girl. I hear you.
Keep hope alive, Dottie. Don't get down. The what?
No, I said all hope is not lost. There's bound to be someone enough out there to love me. So.
Oh, there are people that love you, Dottie. Everybody in the flat earth loves you already.
I know. That's why I'm here, always stalking you guys, because you always fill my heart with love, and I just love it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I need more flat earth meetups and stuff like that.
I could put in the good word for you to the #1 tennis player in the world, Novak Djokovic.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if he's married. Not sure.
Does he even live in this country?
Well, there's ways around that. I mean, normally America imports wedding prospects, but maybe we could do a fundraiser and
Are you suggesting Dottie get a mail order husband?
Well, actually, Dottie would be the male. She'd be the female, the American female bride. I don't know if we do a lot of those. That doesn't matter. Anyway.
Wow. So this conversation has taken quite the turn. And oh man.
Oh,
that's awesome.
no. Sorry, Dottie. Apparently, he is married with 2 kids.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
So
Great. Yeah.
you would, but that means you are now eligible for mistress status.
Oh, yeah. Even
Yeah?
better. That's yeah.
I think we all just learned that Mark Sargent's like the worst person in the world to get dating advice from.
Thanks. All right.
That's in another.
Any shout outs, Dottie, because we got 20 seconds to the break.
Shout out to Zulu One and Ace McLeod and Karen B. And yeah, that's it. I don't know.
Mark Sargent. Oh, hey, that's so great. You said Mark Sargent. That's so cool. All right. Well, with that, we're going to music. Going to the break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. See you soon, Dottie.
Bye.
Check wallet for his name. His face is in the muck. I think his zipper's stuck.
Truth Frequency Radio is your number.
You must unite what is inside us.
We are TFR, Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange Worlds. You and me and Karen B, part 3 of 4. Top of the hour, we're taking calls. Like a real radio show. Yeah. Playing with the big boys, as it were. And why not?
Well, if Peanut Gallery's listening, I just want to say that I hope you get better soon, Peanut.
Yeah. Yeah, Peanut Gallery. I don't... I wouldn't know what he was drinking at the Mexican place. But, these things happen, which is fine. And yeah, well, we're doing little podcasts and radio shows here and there. Flat Earth is being mentioned. Superbowl commercials. So, yeah. Anyone that, every time that happens, it just gets bigger and bigger and weirder. So anytime, you know me. So
The superb owl.
The what?
The superb owl. Yeah. Superb owl. Super Bowl. Superb owl.
It's nice. Yeah. And when anyone ever says, "Oh, Flair's dead," I've been hearing this since 2015. Flair's dead. R.I.P. Case closed. It's like, really? When
I know. I keep hearing that.
When's it gonna happen exactly? Yeah. Can you even respond to the mention of the Super Bowl? Well, they're just making fun of you. I don't care if they were making fun of us. That thing got views in every country that has television. Not to mention 61 million hits on YouTube just for the commercial alone. And not to mention everything else.
Well, I've already got at least one confirmed person researching Flat Earth because of that commercial, so...
Oh, yeah.
Feast.
You guys... Yeah. I treat it with a little more weight than the Israeli all-girl rock band, the She-Wolves. But again, it shows you we can get into little corners of the music community, and we can get into the biggest venues that there are. More people, I think, watched that commercial than watched Shakira and Jennifer Lopez at halftime. What do I know? Okay, let's go straight to the phones. Let's go all the way up to Ontario. Ontario, what's happening?
Oh, not much. Hi, Mark. Hi, Karen.
Hey.
Hey, Ginger.
I also want to wish Peanut a speedy recovery.
Yes.
But
yes. Oh, the Peanut will be fine.
So, if it's anything like Mr. Peanut from the Super Bowl commercials, he will just be reborn, like Mr. Stavely called.
Yeah. He'll be fine.
Anyway, so I know last week was the Challenger anniversary. I can't remember if you said the NASA acronym for that whole thing.
NASA stands for Need Another 7 Astronauts. The 34-year-old joke. Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah.
I mean that joke came out immediately. That was one of those bad jokes. In '86, it was not. It was still pretty funny. And
yes, I remember telling that joke on the playground with my friends.
Oh yeah, Need Another 7 Astronauts. Yeah, all the kids told each other that joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the joke, the Peanuts joke last week. You know, the I think that came out that same year. The fact that they had to change branding because they couldn't use 7-Up anymore because they couldn't get 7-Up, which I don't think is nearly as good as the the 7 Astronauts. And people say, "Oh, it's in poor taste. Those poor people." It's like, no. It doesn't count if they're still alive. You know, they're fine. Which
it doesn't count if they're traitors to humanity either. Dead or alive.
Karen and I disagree slightly with this because I said, look, you signed the waivers and you're paid to do whatever you're told to do. And you don't know what the orders are going to come down the road. And so if it's like, oh yeah, you got to do this. And if you don't do this, we can hit you up for treason. And a lot of people don't understand what treason is. It's like treason isn't getting a lawyer and going into court. No one even knows in the outside world even knows you're in. They can send you away or they can execute you. And no questions asked. You signed the paperwork to that effect. There's nothing you can do. So, but in this case.
And what kind of sorry?
Go ahead.
Oh, just what kind of crappy witness relocation program doesn't change your name?
Well, this wouldn't be your standard DEA relocation because you're hiding them from the mob or you're hiding them from, South American drug lords. This would mean because they didn't know. It's like, what are you going to do? It's like they're Air Force officers because remember, this isn't witness relocation because you're saying they're already dead. This is oh boy, here's a good analogy. This is the Die Hard relocation program from the movie Die Hard, which is that wonderful line at the end where it goes, you steal $600, you can get away with it. You steal 600 million, they will find you unless they think you're already dead. Several movie plots have used this over the years. And that is that you're absolutely right. If you're dead, no one's going to look for you. I mean, not only did they have death certificates, but they had it was public on national television. So, and the internet wasn't a thing. And nobody found them for years, decades, as a matter of fact. It wasn't until, we had social media. I mean, it really wasn't until very, very recently that we all of a sudden, dug this stuff up. The flip side of having the informational tool of the gods. So I can't criticize them too much because in '86, what else are you gonna do? You're gonna off them? Is that what you're gonna do? They're valuable. You spend good money on them. It's like anything, we've got parents and uncles. Yeah, don't throw that away. Might use it.
Tell that to Gus Grissom.
Well,
yeah.
Gus Grissom that was a whole nother thing though. Gus Grissom was, although let's call Gus Grissom for what it was. Did he die in a capsule? Probably not. Was he just taken care of and they said he died in a capsule? Probably. Because he was very vocal about the program. And you can't have remember, he was supposed to be the guy. He was supposed to be the first guy on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Great name, Gus Grissom. Jaw made out of iron.
He had all the right stuff.
Oh, he did. Lump of coal up his ass. It'll come out a diamond. Strike matches on his chin type stuff. And he's out there going, this thing's never going to work. It's like, where the hell are you putting me in? I'm Gus Grissom. And they weren't going to have it. He was one of those guys that they couldn't reason with him, apparently.
Yeah. We want to look out a window, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, the Challenger thing, it's a neat piece, and I'm glad one of our people actually went out and did it. I think it's good evidence, and it helps us. I mean, it didn't hurt us. I mean, if the guy looked and sounded completely different, I wouldn't have bought it. Again, what threw me was he was not he was not saying what I was hoping he would say, and he certainly didn't feel outraged. In fact, he seemed like he was giving himself a pat on the back too. Not him, but he seemed like a heck of a guy. Accomplished. It's like he's giving himself little compliments during that interview. It's like, anyway, what else you got? Anything?
Oh man. No. You can go on to the next. But thanks for taking the call, and I'm sure I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
All right, Ginger.
See you, man. All right. Phone number to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. It's Mark. It's Karen. It's Karen. It's Mark. We're really interchangeable at this point. Let's see. Let's pick up. This one's sort of localish. 425. I think you're around here, aren't you? 425. You up in Washington, up in the Northwest?
Yes, I would be. How's it going, Mark and Karen? It's Ted.
Wait. See, I didn't.
I know you're like, oh, hang up. No.
I know who this is. It's
your favorite bearded, brawny-looking guy that you admire so much.
Beardly McRibdabs. Yeah.
McRibdabs?
Yeah, last
oh
time
my goodness!
Great cheese on those abs. So how is Karen B's boyfriend doing this evening?
Karen's boyfriend is doing wonderful because he gets to hear her. Yep. And before anything else, here, I want to do a quick shout out to Doc Michael. It's his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Doc Michael!
Happy birthday, Doc! And it's 11/11.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh, it is. Just turned it. Nice.
So we were actually talking about you tonight, because Matt Long was up here with Jessica, and I was trying to tell him, it's like because he didn't make the association with your name, and that you were spending quality time with Karen B. And I go, yeah, he's at Dallas. I go, he was the tough looking guy with the tats, watching the door. Burly McShredded.
McRibdabs or whatever.
He goes, oh yeah, I think I remember him. I go, yeah, you don't want to stare at him directly. You get all intimidated. So.
Yeah. Wow.
So what?
When I'm at work.
Oh, that's. Are you supposed to be calling us from work?
No, I'm off work. I know. I've been off work for an hour now.
Oh, all right. I know. I was trying to think of something funny. Like I was going to be horning in on Karen's actions. Like, I told you never to call me here. We're on the air.
Don't call me at this number.
Exactly. He could be home at any second. Oh wait, does that mean I'm? Whatever. Oh, I'm getting at.
We'll kick your butt anyway.
Nice. Hey, is there any snow where you are?
It was trying to snow earlier, but mostly I've been just kind of like evolving into developing gills since it rained for the entire month of January.
Yeah. Every morning I get up and I'm like going. I'm looking outside. I'm going. Is it always raining at night now? Always? It's like there's a car wash happening every night in Washington right now. I don't know why. I mean, it's not like Florida.
I know.
It's still that cold, drizzly stuff, but it's been really, really wet.
Yeah, it has. I know. I don't even understand that either. It happens over where I live, over in Renton and everything, and people are washing their cars at night. I'm like, why? It's Washington.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I never buy a black car in Washington if you can help it. It's just it's just constant. You're just constantly gonna be wiping that thing down. It's never good. What else you got?
Not much. I'm actually just hoping for the weather to start drying up so I can start doing some street activism, hopefully with good old Daryl, possibly without Dottie if she's interested, and
well, there'd be
others from the meetup.
You and D Marble and Dottie. Oh wow.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a fun group to see on the streets. Seriously, guys, you would be an interesting trio just to look at. It's like,
yeah, no. When me and Daryl did it last year, it's like Daryl's really calm, cool, collective. I'm kind of just being me, and yeah, that was it. But it's like, add Dottie to the mix, it'll be a trifecta here.
Yeah,
maybe we can get some more people. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, other than that, I guess I'll.
Mark's pretty good at street activism.
I'm okay.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah, did you do it with like Robin and whatnot?
Yeah, remember when he
Campbell,
joined the Globe Light Tour in the UK, and he did a really good job.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I did it again because I had no power over what cities they chose them for me. It's like, yeah, let's take Mark and put him in Belfast and Dublin. Yeah,
could be worse. Could be Compton.
Yes, it could have been. But I got to tell you, there were a lot more people. There's the stereotypical some drunk people staggering around Dublin. Yeah. It was awesome.
Nice.
It was really, really fun though. I liked it. And then what was the third one I did? Cardiff. I did Cardiff, which was I was excited about because I'm a Doctor Who fan, and Torchwood was shot in Cardiff, and nice. So that was kind of a neat thing for me. But yeah. Now who knows? Maybe I'll get a chance to do some street activism over in your guys' neck of the wood, if I.
Yeah, if it stays dry for more than 24 hours here,
exactly. That's nice.
I'll have my girlfriend there to text you to get the trifecta, and maybe we can get a whole band of flatties just smacking everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have Karen text me too.
Yeah.
Sorry, you just pitched that one in. I am
jerk. Ouch.
Was I not supposed to say that? Karen's not still on the line, is she? Oh, this is so awkward.
Oh, shit.
I know.
You're busted. I'm busted.
Yeah.
We're all busted.
Yep. Anyway, well, cool, man.
I can write. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in, and I'm going to burn this thing into my head because the name does not come across as the name I was expecting. So. I totally got it.
Say William instead of Ted.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh crap! Oh, she told you that one. Oh crap! Now everyone knows too. Crap.
Not gonna be able to fool me again. Fool me once, shame on.
What?
Wait, shame on whatever.
Yeah, cool. You fooled me twice. Shame on Karen. No.
Yeah. All right. Hey, you have a good night. Stay dry, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
See you, man. Now, you would have thought that Karen and he would have been said sweet nuxley. I'm pretty sure you guys are texting each other. It's like, he cut me off. It's like, Mark, that bastard. Whatever. Go to hell, both of you. All right. Pick up 360 area code 360. It's you, me, and Karen B. sitting in a tree. What's happening?
Hello from the north end here, Deception Pass.
Hey, what's happening up in Deception Pass?
Yeah, down here, Bali Music Journey, not in Bali anymore, as I was telling one of your friends there.
Nice. Matt Long probably.
Bummer. It's raining and snowing all the time.
Is it? Matt Long probably just drove right by you just a few minutes ago, probably, in Deception Pass.
Oh, seriously? Okay. That's why you brought him up. Oh, yeah. What a wonderful couple they are.
Yeah, they're really lovely.
Yeah, good. I'm glad they came up. I didn't stay in touch, but I got to meet them, and they're wonderful people.
Yeah, they're really good, and the baby's really cute too.
Oh yeah. Well, good to hear your voices, Mark, Karen.
Yeah.
Yes,
what's happening?
you too.
What's happening with you? Anything new?
Well, I don't want to be too negative, but I didn't hear whether you had already reported on this or not, but I did miss a lot of stuff in the last couple of months.
What?
You know when you guys awarded FlatEarth101.com the award for best activism in Dallas? I'm sure you remember.
I believe so. Yes.
Flat Earth 101.
We'll say yes for
Out of Indonesia.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. What? This is a bummer thing to report, but did you know that the father and son were killed in Indonesia, and before that, about a month and a half before that?
Flat Earth 101?
No,
Yeah.
I do know about that. It wasn't him. It was a very good friend of his, though.
Ooh.
It was a very
Oh,
good
they were
friend of
funding
his.
it, though. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Karen, thanks. Clarify that for me then, because the way it's reported in Indonesia, because of course, I speak Indonesian. My wife's Indonesian, and we lived in Bali for 5 years. But they reported it as these people that were part of Flat Earth 101, the founders, were both killed. So tell me what you know.
Well, okay. I remember when that happened, and I'm actually in a WhatsApp group with Boss Darling, the guy who runs that channel, and I remember he posted a news article link, and he said that it was like it was basically his best friend, one of his very good friends.
Oh, okay.
That was killed,
But he lives in the United States now?
No. As far as I know, he's still over there.
I mean, Bob does. Oh, okay.
Boss? No, Boss Dark. No, he's still over there in Indonesia, as far as I know. I mean, I haven't messaged in that group for a few months now, but I remember when that happened, and it was one of his very good friends, and it was kind of a really tragic story. It had to do with like his wife, and there was an affair, and it was basically a hit. You know, there was a bomb planted in the car. Right.
I'm glad that you clarified that. Yeah, it was very tragic, but it's not related to our movement. It was related to the wife, and they're very wealthy, and I guess she wanted the money and had a new boyfriend.
Yes. Yeah, but no, it wasn't actually the man that runs that channel, but it was a very good friend of his.
Okay. Right. Because they're very generous. If you ask them for materials, which are in every bathroom in my area where I post them up, and all the restaurants and all the parks, all their cards and stickers, they give you way more than you order. I mean, I paid like $50, and they probably sent me this huge box of stuff that I still haven't gone through. I mean, it was a ton of stickers and cards, Flat Earth cards.
Mm-hmm.
They're very kind, but I understood the person I was talking to, I think, was Indonesian, but maybe not. Maybe it was Bob on my emails. But okay, I'm glad you know more than I do.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah. So as far as I know, no, it was not the Flat Earther that was killed that day. It was just a very good friend of his.
Yeah, but they are Flat Earthers, but they're not. That's not Bob. But they are famous in Indonesia for being Flat Earthers. That's what I want to tell you guys.
Yeah.
And so I think probably they're printing it over there because printing is really cheap over there, and we get a lot of printed materials from there too. But Yeah. Anyway, you guys, I just wanted to know what you knew about that.
All right. Cool.
Because when you announced at the Flat Earth Conference as a winner, you said Flat Earth, and you mentioned Indonesia in it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad we got most of that clarified. Hey, did you did you get a chance to see the Super Bowl at all?
Yeah, I've heard you guys talking about it. No, I watched a little bit. Tried to avoid the halftime show.
Well,
I guess if you bring a bunch of kids up on stage, it's okay to run around in your G-string all the time.
Yeah, it wasn't that interesting. They pushed that off. So it's going to be a family-friendly thing, and it's like, yeah, just because you had a separate little 30-second segment where the kids were actually on their own, jumping up and down and smiling for the camera, and then you get back to Shakira doing her belly dance. Again, Shakira is very talented in her belly dancing, but I don't think the two are necessarily that compatible. But you don't have to watch Super Bowl. Just type in Amazon Super Bowl into YouTube, and you'll see the ad. It's got 61 million hits right now, and we're in it.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, I did see that. Yes.
Yeah. Go
Thanks
figure.
for mentioning that.
Not a lot of topics chosen in that list, and we always seem to get picked. So, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I won't keep you guys. I will say that I spoke to All People, Free People on the phone a couple days ago, so we're hoping to put something together in March again for the Northwest to get together. We always have a good group when we do it. Unfortunately, I missed the one in Kent, and
all right.
Sounds like a really nice lady that I haven't met yet there, but the hotel.
Yep.
But we'll have to do another one.
Yeah, whatever you guys think of.
Do you have any travel plans in March yet, or?
Don't know yet. Things are starting to book up pretty quickly. But you just let me know. Give me a little advance warning.
You're jet set.
You're jet setting. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, 2020, I will be jumping around a little bit. So just let me know.
Okay. In between epidemics, we need to get together.
Okay. All right. Hey,
the stocks are getting it. Yeah, nice to hear your voices.
All right. Talk soon.
Take care.
All right. Cheers.
Bye. All right. Phone number to call in before the last segment is 213-233-3998. That is 213-233-3998. And yeah, I'll be here. Karen will be here. Station will be here. Chris and Cherie Gio, who may or may not be listening right now. I sent them a copy of the book. They were really excited. TFR was in it. Oh, there's the music. We will be back in 3. Don't go anywhere. We're going to pick up 845 after the break. You know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
No hate, no hype, no fear. Real people, real radio.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. This last segment of the show tonight. I think you're going to have to wait a whole week. So, let's not waste time. Let's get right to it, shall we? 845, you know what that means. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it.
New York, New York.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hello, hello. Hello, Karen. Hello, Mark. How are you? Oh, wait, sorry. Pause. TV timeout. Now a word from my sponsors. Sorry. That's the show. That's a good point you made about that.
It's true. I mean,
changes the whole game.
It changes the whole game. It's like we can call a timeout. Basically, the corporations now can call a timeout anytime they want. They can do it. It's like we need a commercial right now. We paid for it. We're gonna get it. Game stops. Players like
we want to change the momentum of the game.
Yeah, if you wish.
Want to affect the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, is it true that your birthday is come and gone?
Yes, it was last week. 53. Old man. Rotten.
53, you say?
Yeah.
Oh, no, the way
bad for 153.
No, man.
Oh, man.
You've heard me say it a million times. Age is just an illusion. It's young at heart.
Absolutely.
That's all that matters.
Absolutely.
The problem is fighting the illusion. The illusion is so persistent that most people cave in, and it can get a little frustrating at times. But sorry, man. You'll still be young.
Absolutely.
And you'll be a sexual tyrannosaurus to me. Wait, is this live? I don't even.
Wait.
You know.
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Inside, I'm just a dumb ass 16-year-old still.
Oh yeah.
If you fart, I will giggle. I don't care. It's gotta live life, right, and enjoy.
Yep.
Too funny. And those commercials were good. Even though they did mention Flat Earth, my favorite part of that commercial was when he said, "Oh, it's all fake." The news, and they both cracked the hell up. That was absolutely my favorite part. That kid just made me bust up laughing.
That's funny that you mentioned that because that was Matt Long, who was just here. That was his favorite part too. As a matter of fact, he took out the kid's laugh and turned it into like a little sound bite. Because the kid's laugh was great. It was
perfect
between those two.
Yeah.
So
that was so good. It was like, you're so stupid.
Yeah. Why bring up fake news? I mean, out of all the things, Amazon is going to bring up fake news. Now, granted, you could say, well, they're a left-based company and maybe they're going after Trump, but people don't realize that now fake news, which didn't even used to be a term, is now a real thing, because whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you now believe in it. And people say, no, I don't believe in fake news. Like, oh, yeah, you do. All I have to do is say, depending on what side you're on, I say everything that's on MSNBC is absolutely true. Or I say everything on Fox News is absolutely true. Depending on who you're talking to, you're going to get people like, yeah, what the hell ever. Fox lies through their teeth, or NBC lies through their teeth. And, that's how it goes now. We are so polarized that now everybody believes in fake news to a certain degree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And by the way, when you said you rhymed like a vandal, I immediately knew it was Vanilla Ice reference. I was like, he's messing it up. It's Vanilla Ice. It's Vanilla Ice. That was awesome. I loved it. I got it though. I'm old. I got it.
Word to your mother.
Yep.
You got the Vanilla
uncle.
Ice reference off of that?
Absolutely. I'm totally old. I totally got it.
Yeah, Darren
Wagner. As soon as he said it, I was like, oh.
Darren Wagner got it immediately too. I mean, the internet.
I mean, I know that song, but it didn't even. It didn't even register for me. I just thought Mark was being super dorky. That's all.
Thank you. Most people only chorus, and also most people, unless you're old enough, you don't know that that Vanilla Ice was sued over that song because he stole the riff. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh
dun,
yeah,
dun.
from David Bowie.
Right.
Yeah, I remember him being in court over that.
Freddie Mercury collaboration.
Yeah.
And
sure.
they asked him, they said, just give us freaking credit for it. That's all they wanted. They said, we don't even want the money. He's going, nope. It's like, fine, we're suing you. and we're going to win. It's not going to be hard. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I didn't notice. That's also weird that when you changed your music,
yeah,
I didn't notice, but this feed is in stereo.
Yeah,
I heard right and left. I was like, "Whoa!" I didn't know that because I always hear it doesn't do the voice you and Karen in stereo.
No,
you're not like right and left.
You're right. The music's in stereo, and the reason why the voice is in mono is because there's a lot more people out there than you might think with broken speakers. And I used to record stuff in stereo, my voice recordings, and almost immediately, I mean, I got emails saying, "Look, dude, apparently there's a lot of people out there that drive really crappy cars." Or it's mostly cars. And it's like, yeah, my van, I only have a left speaker in my van. It's like, so I can only hear half the conversation. It's like, oh, all right. So I only record. Yeah. That was high quality mono. I mean, really cranked up high quality mono, but it still is mono, and you're supposed to do that. It's just people are weird. It's like, fix your damn speaker system, man. Stop driving cars that, and how, I mean, you and I, we're old enough to remember back in the day when that was actually a thing, when, you'd be banging on the side of your door just to get one of your speakers to work. But not now, it shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, real quick, how come nobody found Dick Scobie? That's interesting because there's Dick Scobie Boulevard or something when you go into Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
That guy's around. That's interesting. Oh, and that deep fake stuff.
Yeah.
I remember years and years ago, probably like 2003, 4, hearing stuff about 9/11 and references to Colin Powell being showed that they could take a sample of his voice in a few minutes and then make it say anything they want. And I was wondering,
Yeah,
like
good
said,
enough.
How long has this been going on?
Now the audio part was easier than the video part because the audio part.
Oh yeah, sure.
You could make it. You could chop up stuff. We've been chopping up audio stuff for a year, but now we can do it digitally on the fly and manipulate stuff with all sorts of different programs. But it was good enough to where military communications aren't exactly the clearest in the world. You're using all sorts of different transmission techniques, and they could do that to where you could fool somebody in a military transmission. And then when they got into the video stuff, I mean, there's amazing stuff. I'm not going to go into some of it tonight, but take a look out there, and before YouTube pulls them all down, the deep fake things that they've done, just impressive. The level of tech that they've gotten to, and again, to the point where YouTube now, I mean, this year are going to start pulling down any political deep fakes that they find because they don't want to influence the election. Because the deepfakes have gotten good enough that you can deceive enough people. Matt Long put one up recently. Now it wasn't pulled down because the new policy wasn't into effect, but it was yellow carded almost immediately. And if you guys don't know what a yellow card is on YouTube, that means they flag it. They don't kill it, and they say, "Sorry, you're not going to make any money off this because it's not suitable for advertisers." And it was just it was a Trump thing, but it wasn't a really hostile deep fake. They're worried though that come this summer that we're going to see a lot of political stuff that could get weird. And you could influence an election if you wanted to. So
sure. Yeah. Hey, I'll make it quick. Yeah. I just stumbled onto by chance some kind of science video channel thing, and they were saying that there was a deeper hole drilled. It was 12.376 kilometers or meters versus 12.62, which was that Russian one. And I don't remember where it was, but it's called Z44 Shavyo, CHAVYO.
Well, I mean, you're still, if you're talking, and by the way, you were right the first time with kilometers, and I know what you're talking about. But if you're talking let's say we'll round up 12.7 kilometers versus 12.6 kilometers, you're still talking 8 miles. And
oh yeah, but that's not even the point. What I was going to say is the people who made the video. It says made possible by Skillshare, and their fucking logo is a flat Earth model.
Nice. Oh, is that why you
And
said
I was
that?
like, that's why I put it. Yeah, that's why I put it in the chat. I was like, what the hell is that? That's absolutely a flat Earth map. What is that doing there?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And the video was absolutely just about drilling. How deep is the deepest hole ever? That's all it was. Had nothing to do with flat Earth, not flat Earth, ball, globe. But I was like, that is a flat Earth logo.
Good find. And yeah, the deepest hole was Z44 Chavio, not to be confused with Chev Chelios.
Right. Good one. Good one.
If you guys want to look up screwed up movie, look up Chev Chelios. From Crank and Crank 2, because Crank wasn't weird enough. We got to make Crank 2.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
There was a Crank 2 Get Out.
You haven't watched it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No,
Crank.
Absolutely.
The first one was just weird.
Crank 2 blows. Crank 2 was so out there, the reviewers actually liked it. It's actually got a positive rating on Rotten Tomatoes. They're like, you know what? They went so far. It was so wrong, it became right again. That's how bad it got.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
All right, let me go. I got a quote for you. A quote for you. And since you were saying you hate Star Wars, I had to make it a Star Wars quote.
Yeah.
Do or do not. There is no try. We all know who said it, and I think that's what we should try to live with, or live by. Let's just try. I always say it to people: if you freeze up in a situation, you're going to die. Do something. Even if it's the wrong thing, you have to do something. And I drill into my boy, if you panic, you die, period. You have to stay calm. You have to react. So do or do not. There is no try. Let's get off. Let's try and do stuff. Nice. I mean, you guys, everybody, Karen, Mark, you guys, everybody in the chat, even all the street activism, everybody going out trying to spread, information, and I love it, and that's for everybody. Shout out to Dottie's World. Love her.
Very cool, man.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Bye, Karen.
Bye.
Love you, Karen. I miss you, Mama. Alrighty. Bye-bye.
See you, man.
Bye.
All right, let's go. Let's see if anything we can knock out. Can we knock out the last three? I got 3 more in here. Well, I got 2 more. Actually, we have plenty of time. Let's do 760. 760, you're on with Mark and Karen and Love and Harmony.
Oh, lovely. Hey, Mark and Karen, how you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, I was briefly once known way back when as Joshua Stargaze. Do you remember me? I think I might have been the top 100 people you first may have talked to when you threw your phone number out there. But anyway, I'm most recently known as Life Matrix.
Okay.
So anyway, my question to you guys, I know, Karen, I know you're Mandela affected. I know you see the reality shifts. You guys, do you see any link between flat Earth, Mandela effect, reality shifts?
And reality shows?
No, shifts. The Mandela effect.
Reality shifts. Well, actually, I consider reality shift to be the proper term for what is commonly known as the Mandela effect. I think reality shift is a much better term. That's the proper term for it, in my opinion.
So I mean, to me, like, reality around geography has changed dramatically for so many people, obviously. So if the Earth is shifting in some kind of reality shift quantum way, then there's something else going on just besides the shape of the Earth. I mean, it's got to be bigger than that. If the geography can shift so dramatically, I mean, maybe we should create, Mark, maybe, or Karen, maybe we should create something called Matrix Earth clues.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark, you talked about the simulation theory, man. It's
I did.
It's not out of the possibility, right?
No, not at all. I mean, there's plenty of things in physics that point towards some sort of simulation, and even mainstream science is quick to jump on that. There's some weird phenomena out there that seem to indicate that. Although, again, the reason why I didn't bring this up, and I don't generally bring it up, but I put it in the last chapter of the book, is because we not only do we, most of us, including me, we're not taught a lot of physics and engineering and chemistry, but virtual reality is really tough to explain. The Matrix is 21 years old now, the first Matrix, and not a lot of, it's a good, enjoyable movie series. Not a lot of people got it. They kind of got it, but they didn't really get it, and that was 21 years ago. So I push what I'm always pushing, which is you can start out with the easy stuff, which is, okay, it's flat and it's enclosed. And if it's enclosed and flat, it's probably digital. Although, I just keep beating on the flat part thing because that's what most people, that's the part that resonates one way or the other, positive or negative. But I like it.
That makes sense. So let's just say you ended up at the, past the ice wall, and if at some point it just terminated somewhere and then there was nothing like you talk about in the game simulation type thing,
right?
You probably wouldn't be surprised.
No, well, how could I? I mean, if you watch the movie The 13th Floor, which, from the 1998, which was based on a German movie from 1975 called World on a Wire, which was extremely ambitious for 1975, which was based on a book called Simulacron 3 from the 1960s. Yeah, it's absolutely possible. Sure. Well, I wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. But that's me. I mean, I come from that world. I come from an industry that strives, and they're still striving today to figure out a way to create virtual reality without tapping into the human brain directly, because medically, the only thing stopping them right now is is a health issue. So they don't know how to do it. If you guys have any idea what I'm talking about, look up an old 80s movie called Brainstorm with Christopher Walken.
I remember that one.
Yeah, Natalie Wood. I mean, that was the ambition, even in the 80s. It's like that's what they'd strive for. That's their ultimate goal, to create entertainment that is so encompassing that you'd want it more than the real world. And if it's possible there, then who's to say you didn't already sign up for it? But I don't want to end the show on that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's something I've been toying with most of my adult life.
Right. Do you both remember the North Pole, like the actual landmass of the North Pole, where it used to be?
Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time studying old North Pole maps, actually.
Yeah. Right. It was Arctica and Antarctica. And so Antarctica was supposedly in the bottom of the globe. Arctica was at the top of the globe, and that thing. But the bottom line is that, yeah, there was a landmass for so many people, not just freaking sea ice. So I mean, if things like that can change, if South America can be moved, freaking 1,000 miles east somehow, and just so many reality shifts. So, like, it's got to be something beyond just the box of flat Earth. I just have this feeling that we're not in Kansas anymore.
Oh, I agree with you. I think it does go beyond flat Earth, and it's sort of like, and I've talked about this with a lot of other people before too, where they say like, well, you think, you start going down the rabbit hole and then you end up in flat Earth and you think, wow, this is it, but then you realize that it's really just the beginning, because now you've basically got to go back and look at examine everything that you've ever learned in your entire life. And you're relearning everything. Yep. I mean, really, this world is not at all what they told us it was. I mean, not at all.
No way. And the other thing is, I've always felt this, like, since I was young. We are so much more than we know or realize.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was actually the subject of the talk I did in the 2018 Flat Earth conference. It was called Our Hidden Potential was the name of my talk, because that is exactly one of the things that me and actually Brian like to talk about, is that They lied to us about the true nature of ourselves. They're not only hiding the nature of the true nature of the universe from us, but they're also hiding the true nature of ourselves from us. And I think that has a lot to do with like the vaccines and the poison they put in the food and the fluoride in the water and just everything compounded together.
Well, I really appreciate you guys both could see the possibility that it could be beyond just the shape
Oh,
of
yeah.
this realm.
Yeah, no question.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
All right. Have a good one.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. So the last call of the evening will probably be this one. Well, maybe. We'll see. We're going to try 604, which may be up in British Columbia, Canada. What's happening up in British Columbia? Wow, that was loud.
Hello?
This is new. Okay, you gotta make sure the program's off. The radio station has to be off if you're gonna talk.
Okay.
There you go.
I just called this number. Oh, okay. But I didn't think I'd get through.
You did. Well, it's the end of the show, so why not? And plus international calls take priority, and we got about 3.5 minutes left in the show. So what do you got?
Okay. Oh, well, I just took a lot of flack from a girlfriend for being flat earther, and I didn't think I'd get through. I was listening. Oh,
That's all right. It's all right. So have you been listening to the show long? Is this the first time you listen to the show?
yeah, it is the first time I listened to the show.
Well, aren't you lucky then that you got through? And your
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
So your girlfriend was giving you grief because you are a flat earther?
Big time.
Yeah?
Yeah. And she's worried I'm going to get sectioned and thrown in the psych ward. Oh, my gosh.
And does she know that Flat Earth has been in the news a lot recently? We were on the cover of Newsweek and Popular Science and Skeptic Magazine and all these other things, or did she think you're just an isolated case?
I think no, she doesn't know that, and I knew you were on Skeptic. I didn't know you were on Newsweek. Wow.
Yeah. 2019 is a huge year for us. Yeah, I've got.
Oh, wow.
I've got the magazine cover myself. Plus, we were on the Super Bowl halftime just this last weekend. For the we were in that commercial for Amazon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So don't again. I know that. Look, she's not going to be the first that's going to give you grief, and we don't have a lot of time. But let me see if I can inspire you the best I can. People this is such a polarizing topic that a lot of people go through the 5 stages of acceptance. It's denial, then anger, then bargaining, then depression, then acceptance. Some people, denial and anger, immediate, and it takes them a while. And you're not there to convince them. You're not there to persuade them. All you're there to do is put the idea in their head and just walk away if you have to. And they have to decide, kind of like you. I'm sure you made fun of it first when you first heard of it. No different.
Yeah, well, I had some weird things happen to me, like seeing 2 suns in the sky, which blew me away. I was like, what am I looking at? And sort of went down the rabbit hole of the Nibiru and all that, and then the flat Earth, and it just kind of made sense. And then I talked to somebody that had a bit of a meetup here in Coquitlam, BC, but I didn't go.
You should go to those. I don't generally do the beast. I don't necessarily do the BC meetups, but I do a lot of the ones in the Northwest. Do you ever get down to Washington?
Not for a long time. I used to go down there for the Mustang shows and stuff, but I'm of ill health. I have Lyme disease, and that's a whole other kettle of fish. And that movement, and I'm really shocked with all the governments and the cover-ups, especially in that realm. And then it's been a real eye-opener, but it's hard when your friends kind of turn on you.
I understand. Hey, the show's wrapping up, but tell you what, if you need me to, go ahead and email me, and with any questions you might or anything points you want me to give to your friend, and I'll be happy to discuss them with you. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mark, and I hope you do come up to Vancouver, and please let me know when you're going to be up here, because I want to go see
Okay.
all of
Hey,
you.
before you go, do you remember what time of year it was when you saw the two suns?
I think it was spring. Okay, I will. Spring, I think.
All right. See you next time, guys.
Right.
Hot sex. Say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Just made it in.